Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Fighting Couch Potatoes. I'm Liquid Gold Steve, and I'm here with Kadawfi Crush.
Let's kick some ass.
And MattMatt.
Baki.
Today we are talking about Baki the Grappler. Not the one from Netflix, badly made in my opinion, but the one that came out in 2001. The original. Baki the Grappler. Not Baki Hanma, the son of the ogre. Not Baki goes to jail.
Beyond Scared Straight Baki edition.
I believe the 2001 version was the better of the two, just because of the storylines, the badass character work, and the not 4,000 years of Chinese kung fu. Retsu is my dog, but if I hear that one more time, it's going to be ear splitting. We are going to talk about the story of Baki. So if you haven't seen Baki the Grappler, or you've just heard about it, or you even seen the Netflix version, we're going to show you the better version. And we're going to start that with, what was the first thing you guys saw when Baki the Grappler came on?
Saw about 100 guys that looked like fake Kuwabara standing in an alleyway with weapons, knives, katanas, bats, pipes, all waiting to beat the shit out of one guy. One guy alone.
One carrot top looking motherfucker.
They actually sat out there waiting hard. And then their big homie showed up. Their big homie with the little ball cap, looked like a bald-headed Terry Bogard, showed up.
Yeah.
And they was like, oh shit, son, we can't lose. Homie's here. We got this straight up. And then Baki showed up.
Baki, the son of the ogre. The man, the myth.
He's a boy. He's not the man. He is a literal fucking child.
Well, with those 100 men or 101 men with the big dude, Baki took out the big guy first, and take out 16 or 17 of them?
37.
37?
Or, yeah.
37.
I thought it was less than that.
He knocked out 37 out of 100 dudes.
And then he got overtaken.
Yeah, I mean, then they started stomping his little 13-year-old ass.
His 13-year-old.
After 30 guys got beat up.
37 guys got beat up.
And Baki didn't just do that to become the new street skid mark. He has a father named Yujiro Hanma, the ogre, the strongest in the world. And just by hearing that, what do you think, MattMatt, when you hear that?
The strongest in the world must be a wild beast, like a gorilla or rhinoceros type person, creature. But it is not.
He is a creature.
He is a creature, but he is a man.
On a technical level, he's a creature.
He is a creature.
But it is one man. The man, the fucking, not a myth. He's a literal legend.
He made the U.S. stop.
He is the most unemployed man in Japan.
That could stomp your ass with one finger.
Stomp your fucking ass.
With one finger.
What is his job title? When he files taxes, what does he put on there?
I need you to understand this. It's not just the U.S. government that is afraid of Yujiro Hanma, right? When Yujiro wants, when Yujiro needs, and Yujiro can't acquire without finances, he calls up one of his buddies in the high-ranking government and goes, I need. And if they don't deliver, we've seen what Yujiro can do to a high-ranking government official and all of his bodyguards. Have we not?
We have.
Yeah, we have.
Right. Nobody wants that problem. Don't kick my desk in half, son. It's a very expensive mahogany wood desk, motherfucker. Don't kick it in half.
Baki has a mama that's very rich, and she is trying to prep her son. No, that's not right.
She is trying to please Yujiro. Is what she's trying to do.
To prep her son.
She was trying to prep her son, but the son's trying to get strong as well. Well, after Baki got beat up by the 63
other people that were still there that weren't eating fucking pavement at that point.
Yeah, we're eating pavement. He goes back to his high class gym, fucking doctor's care place.
He had a $6 million man gym
in
there.
He had
machines, the fucking computers.
Scientists to give him a perfect diet, to know exactly what to do to get stronger, and he wasn't getting stronger. and he was getting really pissed off about it. So Baki, with his 13-year-old ass, went and found one of Yajiro's old friends. What?
You about to skip Yuri Kokoska?
That was right after.
That was right after he busted up his gym.
Yeah, but he fought. I thought Yuri was after because that's when Hanayama showed up.
It was right after. Right after he busted up his gym and was like, I'm going to find my own fucking way. He went to the boxing gym and Yuri Kokoska was there, kicking it easy. And that's when Baki, he took the first starching of the whole show. Baki took the first starching.
How do you in your old show take your first starching?
Bruh, all right.
Learning lesson.
Real shit. Baki, the first 2 times you see him fight, gets his ass whooped. But it's so impressive because he's a little 13-year-old runt. You're just like, he did good. He did good. He knocked out 37 of them. I mean, shit.
It's more than I can do.
And I mean, he fought the heavyweight champion for a while before dying. But he does get starched. He gets the first starching of the whole series.
I completely forgot that he had the first starching of
I just love the idea of the starching of Baki just hung out to dry.
I mean, bro, he just like bounced off the damn ground and was just like, he was starched so long, Yuri had to leave the country for his next boxing match. Like, dude,
they opened up for business 2 more days in a row before Baki woke up.
So they was like, get my man a stretcher. And when the scene comes back to Baki, it's like, he's still on the damn floor. Like,
they left him overnight.
They didn't even put a wet towel on his head. They just let his ass be starched. And at the same time, while Baki was getting his ass whooped by the boxer, they had Hanayama. Koryu Hanayama. He was supposed to be Baki's new rival coming up. It's like going to be his first rival for the whole series.
Homiyama.
And Hanayama is a
Homie.
Yakuza boss.
Sorry.
He's the youngest Yakuza boss. He's only 16 years
15.
old.
15.
I thought Yajiro's buddy came, and then it was Yasha. I might have been wrong about the Yuri, but I thought Hanayama came afterwards because Daddy showed up, and then Yuri and Hanayama had that moment in the back where he broke both of his crushed his veins.
So it's like
veins.
It's like this. It's Yuri gives him his first. Well, okay, it's the 100 guy.
Yeah.
The 100-man ass whooping. Then Yuri knocks his ass out cold. It's his first loss ever, and which prompts him to run off and pack his shit and then head up to the mountains.
Okay.
At the same time, while Baki was getting his shit pushed in by Yuri Kokoska, Yuri the Russian monster.
I think you got it right the first time. The first time, I think you got it right.
But like while he was getting his shit pushed in by him, we had Hanayama fighting a boxer. And we kind of got to see, because like Hanayama beat 50 guys the fuck up. They were doing a comparison, like the whole time, like from when you met Hanayama and the shit you had seen of Baki when they first introduced Hanayama and told you about what he had done. He had gained his clan leadership because his father passed away under mysterious circumstances.
Yeah.
And to go get revenge, he went after the clan that he thought did the shit
and killed everybody
and wiped them the fuck out. He knocked out 50 grown ass men with 50 grown ass gangsters with weapons. They were armed and dangerous, and Hanayama beat the whole fucking clan down.
I think one guy actually died.
Whereas Baki, where we're just meeting him, gets beat the fuck up by 100 dudes and can't exactly knock out at least 50 guys. Hanayama can. Then we see Baki get his shit pushed in by Yuri Kokoska, and Hanayama pushes another boxer's shit in at the same time in the underground fight. Because the clan that he was going against hired a boxer or made a boxer part of the family for a few days, and the boxer thought he was going to handle Hanayama, and Hanayama pushed his shit in. Pushed his wig back. Motherfucker gave him a haircut with no clippers. I mean,
took his hands.
That was when you saw Hanayama rip the deck of cards.
Well, it wasn't to rip the whole deck of cards. It was take his thumb and put it through the fucking things. Yeah, I know. But I thought that was Yuri that he did that shit to.
No, and then Yuri continues to defend his championship title. Baki goes to the mountains, and after Yuri's fight, when he defends his championship title, Hanayama meets him in the backstage and then rips his arm apart, essentially broke his muscles and veins and bones and shit. Just kind of
he gave him the ultimate Indian burn.
He left his arms, for the cleaning lady on Monday because they were dust by Monday.
That doesn't make sense. She's a cleaning lady.
She's off. It's Friday.
She's off
on the weekends, and so Monday.
All right. So after Baki got starched, he was tired of getting his ass beat, so he went and found one of Yajiro's old friends, Ando, that lives in the mountains, and he was going to train with him. He was going to learn how he got strong, just like his father did. And Ando told him a story about a Yasha ape that was up in the mountains, of giant, man-eating, big, giant fucking monster that killed everything that was in his sight. And Baki was like, all right, I'm going to go fight that. Baki got his ass starched again, ran away, had to train a little bit more, and then finally fought the Yasha ape and technically won. He didn't kill the ape. They kind of fist bumped and said
the ape
gave his respect.
He yielded. The ape yielded.
Yeah. Because Baki really doesn't kill people. He doesn't have his father's mentality of it's death or not. That's it. That's how a fight ends. It's death or not.
Death or dishonor. Mm-hmm. The Yasha ape situation was pretty cool. I actually really like the fact that Baki jumped off of his bullshit training, his in a science lab training.
Yeah.
He almost had a room like the fucking X-Men, the danger room. He almost had something like that. He was like, man, this is some bullshit. I'm not becoming that dude. When he went up to go meet with Ando, one of the things he had asked him was like, damn, bro, you put on some size. How'd you get so big? Ando told him the secret. And this is a secret that stands true with all anime protagonists of shonen type series. He who eats the most will be the strongest.
Baki did look like a bowling ball for half a second.
He did. I mean, name a shonen style anime you've seen where the protagonist don't eat his fucking ass off.
Naruto
Don't eat his ass off?
I don't see him eat a lot.
The ramen shop?
He eats ramen.
How many stacks of bowls of ramen do you see Naruto
it's not as bad as Goku. It's not like Goku or
of course it's not like Goku, but he eat his ass off. Motherfucking Kaneko man.
That man eats 15 things of gyudon.
Of gyudon, right then and there. I mean,
But it still, yeah, he looked like a fat, muscular man.
Fatty.
He was a fat, muscular man child. But after he left the woods and the mountains of Ando's place, he came back and fought Hanayama in a nightclub.
That was cool how that fight was even set up in the first place. Because, Baki's mama didn't know that Baki had just gotten starched. And she had her little henchman out there looking for somebody for Baki to fight. And that's when you kind of find out that Emmy also was the one who set up that 100-man brawl against Baki. She was the one who set that up.
But didn't Baki want that too? Or is it she just makes random challenges?
She finds random strong motherfuckers and has her henchmen pay people. Because the guy who looked like fake Kuwabara, who was super excited about his homie showing up, he was the one who went and got paid. And her little henchman paid him $1 million for that ass whooping that him and his friends took. And he was trying to extort more money out of him. But Emmy's henchman is kind of the shit too, and almost killed his ass with a fluorescent light bulb.
But this is when you meet the ogre. Man comes in with the best entrance ever. Bust in through the side glass from a chopper. And it's the funniest. He has the funniest pose coming through the fucking glass. He's all curled up in a ball and shit. And then he stands straight up and it's just real motherfucker just showed up in the room.
That shit looked like Yajiro be doing unnecessary shit. But you want to believe in your heart that he's doing it because it's the proper technique. Like when he buzzed through the glass, like in a ball. It's like, why didn't you just like, kick through it? Then you could have got slashed by the glass. Reasonably speaking, make yourself one smaller target and you can cannonball your way through and you shouldn't get cut the fuck up.
It's Yujiro Hanma. There's a difference, man.
I mean, he do that shit with such intensity. Like, who can roll themselves into a ball like that and jump out of a helicopter through a building?
What does Yujiro Hanma do? What's the first thing he says when he sees his son fight this giant fucking 15-year-old kid in a diaper? What's the actual,
fuck is going on in here?
What's the actual term? Furuwaji or something?
Oh,
That's a possibility.
Oh god, it's a diaper. I don't know.
But yeah, what's the first thing, Matt, that Yujiro says to his son who's fighting a man with a grown ass 15-year-old?
What the fuck is going on?
No, he does what Yujiro does. He says a few nonsensical fucking like complaints. Says a few things like below the belt. Says this fucking fight is trash. You're acting like pussies.
I just jumped through a 50-story window, and y'all are sitting here staring at each other.
Sitting here bleeding. What kind of pussies bleed?
I've got no time to bleed.
No, he says, "Oh, you're bleeding? Oh, it must be the beginning of the fight. Where's the killing?
Where's the rest of the blood?
You guys aren't fucking doing anything. Let me show you how you actually fight." And Hanayama kind of took that disrespectfully, and he should have stopped. He should have stopped.
I like how Hanayama don't talk, but I bet you at that moment his conscience was saying, "No! No! No! This is gonna hurt.
This is gonna hurt." No, and then Hanayama came up, grabbed fucking Yujiro's shoulder, and
how'd that go for him?
he got put into a wall, right?
He did. He's lucky he didn't get put into the what glass? The
jump-proof glass.
The jump-proof glass.
That's an actual term.
Yujiro could have fucking just thrown another hole into that glass.
And that, my friend, was the third starching of the show. Hanayama did the second starching. When he fought his boxer, ooh boy, he starched it
You
all
are
up.
very right. I'm so wrong. It was at the warehouse like right beside the fucking docks.
Yeah.
Because they fucking were in a damn like dark room. That's when he pulled the fucking cards out. Yep. I know what you're talking about.
I love how Hanayama did it too. Like, how you gonna like cock back a swing and then like pause like you in a video game while dude punching you in the face? How you gonna do that? And then just
he was just ready. He was just ready.
I like how dude was just sitting there throwing his ultimate combo. He probably thought he was getting off too. That bitch was like, "Boy, I don't even hit the combo bag like this. Oh shit! Oh shit! About to get a motherfucker ultra. Oh, and then he woke up. And then he woke up. And unfortunately, what his sorry ass woke up to was Hanayama climbing on top of him, about to rip his arms apart.
Hanayama was doing this. You know how like they have like a light attack and a strong attack? He was holding the strong attack, and he had the little. You seen the shit where like they glow real fast? He did the little glow, and as soon as it hit, BAM!
I mean, he fucking smashed that dude. And then, like, he could have just let the dude lose from there, but like, no, let me uppercut him into the air so he can't fall. And it's just like, shit, Hanayama, let him go. Let me break his arm before he can fall. Let me just do some old incredible shit. Bet you didn't know a big fuck could move this fast, did you?
And Yujiro just dogged him.
Yeah.
Immediately meeting him.
Like, Yujiro's existence in this show is power scaling. Like, oh, you think this motherfucker's super strong. You think he's super strong. Let's see what he does to Yujiro.
You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong, Kadawfi. That like,
if Yujiro's the end goal in this show,
he's always the end goal for everybody. Anybody who's ever heard Yujiro Hanma's name, that's the end goal for them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, almost anybody. Almost anybody. There's a couple people out there that
just know not to do it.
You know.
So after Yujiro sees Baki after 13 years of his life.
See, no, Yujiro checked in on Baki from time to time, but like I'm 90% sure he would break Baki's toys when he seen him when he was young. Yeah, boy, cry. Remember this. Remember this. This would be a Yujiro Joe.
But
he wouldn't have broke a Kaneko Man toy though.
He wouldn't.
Hey, just FYI, Kaneko Man would fuck Yujiro Hanma up. Really bad. Like real fucking bad.
What are you talking about?
Just
like,
putting that out there.
Kaneko
Man did it first.
After he did all the whining and crying and I don't want to die. Please, mommy, and please, poppy.
Would it be Yujiro just trying out his best moves on Kaneko Man? It's like, okay, I get it. Stop.
No, do the thing he did with Muhammad Ali Jr. where he sat on the ground.
He wouldn't do that to Kaneko Man.
He pinned him. He pinned him.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Hey,
all right, so
Yujiro lost that encounter, and that pissed him right off.
After the Hanayama and Baki fight, Baki lost.
Can you count it as a loss? It was a disqualification.
How would we put? Yeah, we put disqualification.
It was disqualification.
A loss in quotations.
Talking about versus Hanayama?
Yeah.
Baki won that fight.
Baki didn't win that fight.
Baki won that fight.
Because it was
and
like Yujiro showed up.
And then Yujiro came in.
Oh, they were they did the fucking respect and shit.
The fight was over. Baki won that fight, and Hanayama got back up, and they thought it was still about to go. And it was like
Yujiro was like, "It's blood."
And then Yujiro was like, "But this ain't over. Here, let me show you when." And then suddenly Hanayama fainted.
Like a Pokemon.
It was super effective. The wall has taken damage.
Like motherfucker, the writer of the show was Hanayama return.
That's when Baki went to either Korea or Vietnam to meet his next opponent, Gaia.
You ever think that Hanayama woke up after being pulled off that wall the next 2 days later after people came in with shovels to come and get him? And he was like, damn, that's how that feels like.
No,
I've been doing this to people? I need to stop.
I think Hanayama got off that wall like an hour later or something. Like, that boy built different.
Do you think Yujiro's brawly? Do you think he just stuffed people in a wall and they stay there for an hour?
I think that.
Like, Jesus.
Hey, the fucking janitor's sitting there sweeping up and Hanayama's still stuck in the wall.
Yujiro did Hanayama like Piccolo did Vegeta when he saw fucking Brawly for the first time. Get your punk ass up and stop being a little bitch.
No, that's what he did to Baki.
No, that's what Piccolo did to
Yujiro
Vegeta.
did what Broly did to Vegeta after he did pick his ass up and got in the fight.
So the next big bad at the moment, next training partner pretty much for Baki is Gaia, who is a guerrilla for some army.
I think he's just a mercenary at this point.
Is he a mercenary?
Gaia, him and his mercenary group, I believe, they were soldiers in the, I think it was the North Korean War or the Korean War. Excuse me, the Korean conflict, I believe, and they were still in the jungle, awaiting for the enemy.
Oh shit!
They were still.
Oh god!
The war been over his shit, but they were just like, nah, the motherfuckers, because like couldn't nobody get in to give them a message to say, hey, war's over, because anybody who went in the jungle got clapped. That's what Baki went there for, was another level of experience.
The killer instinct.
Like when he got the level of experience, the crossing the line, or getting your runners high, like when he did that with for the Yasha Ape fight. Like even once he figured that out, he still had to like train more and understand it so he could defeat the Yasha Ape with being able to summon that power when he wanted to.
Yeah.
Kind of the same idea for when he goes to see Gaia and friends. He goes there to get another level of to know what it feels like to feel like you're about to die.
Yeah, the killer instinct.
The killer be killed. Yeah. The fight or flight. Yeah. He went to go earn that.
And he could have died. He really could have died.
They were trying to kill him.
Like it was pretty much guerrilla warfare against Baki. And Baki survived. He had to do dirty tricks just like Gaia did, because Gaia, how he fights, but he's gonna fight you like kind of like Rambo. He's gonna have traps and tricks up his sleeve and shit like that.
Weapons around, and
he's not gonna completely fight you 100% up in your face.
Right.
he's going to have some kind of backup plan for a backup plan for another backup
Yeah,
plan.
he's a strategist.
And honestly, Baki learned from it. Because if he didn't, he would have died from fucking Gaia's wrath.
Right.
He would have snapped his fucking neck. He would have killed a 14-year-old kid.
And all kind of shit. My fault. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You're fine. But after Baki kind of levels up, gets that kind of fight or flight, or killer instinct, if you want to say, he thinks he can fight his daddy.
Yeah, he thinks he's man enough.
He thinks.
This one cost him a lot.
Like a lot.
Like back in the day, we'd go to the arcade with like a pocket full of quarters. You probably like $20 in quarters. And then there's that one guy who you can't get off the Mortal Kombat machine. And you go up there and you just keep spending quarters. And so next thing you know, you broke. This one cost you a lot, bro. This one cost you a lot, bro. You ain't gonna be able to play nothing else for a while.
You know what I think is fucked up about the Yujiro fight is the fact he gave him a gift beforehand. Like Yujiro just popped up. Hey, Baki, this is what I was saying about.
Gift?
This is what I was saying about Yujiro, like breaking Baki's toys when he was younger to be a dick as a dad. Because like every one of his enemies that Baki faced, Yujiro like went behind Baki, was like, and was like, "Hey Baki, I got this fucking thing for you. It's your friend's head." You remember the guy that you thought fucking took forever to? Yeah, I ripped his fucking head off in 3 moves. Shit, 2.
And how MattMatt just did. He maniacally
That's
laughed.
exactly what it was.
He maniacally laughed in Baki's face. This whole fight, Baki was not ready for at all. Yujiro versus Baki, he needed a lot more training, because when you get on a man's back and put him in a rear naked choke,
and he just sitting there,
and he thanks all of your friends came to see you fight your father, and thanks him for training you and being his friend and everything like that, and then sliding you. Yeah.
Like that fight right there looked to me as it, like, you ever seen the cartoons where the babysitter has like the animated shit, the babysitter has the kids and like one kid is just all over her biting her and she grabs it and then lets go and it's on another part of her body. That's what Baki looked like. And Yujiro was just like, okay, fine. If you want to fucking do this, it's fine. Baki's mom, thank you for trying your damnedest. You did try your damnedest. I'm going to murder your son now because he is 13 years old and he is not capable. Thank you, everyone, for coming to this funeral that we're about to have. We are gathered here today to celebrate the life of Baki Hanma. I hypnotized his mother before he was born and then hoped and prayed that she would raise him to be not a piece of shit. But she raised a piece of shit. So I'm going to kill him now.
Kadawfi, did you have something to say?
So at this fight, all of Baki's friends he's acquired at this point, except for Yuri the amazing Russian. Besides him, all of Baki's friends are here. Like Steve and Matt said, you know, even the Yasha 8 made an appearance to this fight.
Sorry.
And I'm gonna tell you what, everybody that was there in support of Baki, Yujiro put paws on. Ando got his ass beat. Motherfucking the Yasha 8. Rest in peace.
The Yasha 8 was a pre-game.
Ass whooping.
He pre-gamed the Yasha 8.
And I mean, even Baki's mama. Oh, you put your heads down now, huh? You want to bow your heads in silence?
She interfered, is what happened.
She got the best hit on Yujiro Hanma that fight.
It was the woman slap too.
It was a punch. She didn't slap him.
She broke her wrist doing it.
She punched him. I mean, I don't think he felt it. I don't even think he realized she did it.
Fly around. Oh, hi. Snap.
But like he did go in here and like you said, Baki was trying to do a sleeper hold on him. If Baki had known how to do the DC mini, I think he'd have got him.
You think you got him?
I think he'd have got him with the DC mini.
I don't know, man.
It's a good technique. And I don't think, you cut the air. Anyway, you got that going on. And you also have Yujiro not just beating Baki up, right? Right? He didn't just go in there and just start dominating Baki like a martial artist versus a combo dummy. He didn't do that. Instead, it was like a 6-year-old with their pillow wrestling figure. You know how you throw a pillow around and your elbow drop the pillow and then you punch its fucking head into the concrete until it's fucking the back of your pillow's head is like 6 inches deep into the ground? That's what Yujiro was doing to Baki. He was punching the shit out of that kid. And it's like everybody wanted to stop him.
But they couldn't. It was like watching a dumpster fire.
And like after
someone needs to put this out, but it's not going to be me.
And it's like after not stopping him, he beat everybody's ass for not stopping him.
He beat an earthquake's ass.
He was like, well, the earthquake was trying to stop him. I mean, we've talked about Yujiro Hanma a few times already, and God knows he punches the earth to stop it from shaking. I don't know what kind of power you gotta have
just to stop.
Oh,
but I bet you $1 billion Yujiro Hanma can punch the highlights out of someone's hair.
I mean, he did.
No, man. Like, he would have to put all of his power in there because, like,
he stopped an earthquake.
I don't know. He does have pinpoint power. Like, he has really good pinpoint power.
I think he could punch the molecules in your hair that are binding to the hair dye.
Is that why Baki has darker hair in the next part of the show? It's like let me darken this real quick.
No, I think Yujiro could take natural hair and make your hair blonde. He can literally take the hair out, like the color of your hair out.
Call that shit the peroxide punch.
But so yeah, we're gathered here today for a family funeral.
Well, time for a funeral.
After Baki gets beat up enough by his dad, his mom tries to intervene. Really tries, and he gives Baki's mama the bear hug of love.
It was a very lovely bear hug.
It was a very nice bear hug, love. Until you heard a back snap, spine cracking. She was dead.
She died the way she wanted to.
In Yujiro's arms?
In his arms. It was very beautiful. It was a nice full circle moment for her.
And then Baki got starched again.
And then Baki was starched.
And it was like literally, like Yujiro at the very end, he left them, was like, all right, they're dead. Someone take care of this. I'll see you guys later. And just left. Didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he just kind of put his hands in his pockets
and walked away.
Like he didn't just do this. Like he didn't just.
I just didn't kill 2 people.
Like he didn't just destroy.
Everyone in the crowd was like, anyone call 911? I was too scared to.
Like, that dude killed the rarest Pokemon on the earth. Then killed his baby mama, beat up all his friends, and then left his son in a puddle of just a puddle of pity.
Himself.
Just a puddle of pity. Oh man.
I really do love that shot with Baki on Yujiro's shoulders. Like that shit right there. Cause like he's sitting there he's fucking grimacing trying to do the fucking hardest sleeper hold he can do. And Yujiro's just like staring. Just half smirk.
He was having a conversation with other people.
Yeah. He was talking to Rent. Hey,
he was thanking people for showing up.
Thank you for showing up.
All right, so
I'm gonna kill him now.
So Baki wakes up.
Someone grab a shovel.
Baki wakes up and finds out that his mother has died.
Well, that's not how they showed that.
He finds out his mother had died.
He was carrying his mother because she needed a ride.
But that's not how he found out she was dead. He had to wake up from his starching first.
He had to unhook himself from the clothesline.
Baki finds out his mother's dead.
Right.
Puts Yujiro at the top of his mind, which he already did, but he's going to do it again for some reason. And pretty much he's not. That's not the purest thing he's tried. He's not purely saying this is for revenge for my mother. but he is going to get strong enough to beat Yujiro Hanma. He is going to try to get strong enough to beat the strongest man on the world. The strongest creature.
He originally wanted revenge.
Like, this is when...
Yeah, hold on. It's not even like that surprising that Baki didn't take his mother's death that hard. Because their relationship was already weird as fuck. Like, Baki didn't live with either of his parents. He lived in the hood. And
by himself, with a shitty house.
By himself, while his mom is like a super quadrillionaire. And she has like, she's the one affording Baki's life. You know, the high-tech danger room and everything Baki ever wants and could ever need to become better. She supports all that and apparently has all the money ever where she can just pay street bums $1 million to go fight her son and get their asses beat.
Street bums.
I'll give you $1,000 to go beat up that kid with the orange hair.
According to her, that's her showing her love for Baki. And this is where we kind of get into like that, like what the fuck is actually wrong with her? Because like she's creepy, but not really, but really, really creepy at the same time. When you first meet Emmy, she's just a normal, innocent gal who's been swooped up by a billionaire and just got married and about to live the life of her dreams. And she's going to get Tina Turner in the background. They make sure to inform you of that. She's going to get Tina Turner. On her wedding night, Yujiro Hanma showed up. We've all told this story before. He beat the dog shit out of a dude and damn near hypnotized Emmy with his essence, whatever the fuck he carries with him, his cologne, something.
Hey, Austin Powers said it perfect. It's his mojo.
His mojo.
He got his mojo.
She liked that purple suit or something, bro. Like she was really into him. But
you look unemployed.
Her husband did not like the fact that his brand new wife, I mean, just drove her off the lot. You know, his brand new wife is over here staring down this fucking punk ass man in the middle of a ring. Fuck this guy. So he takes her home, takes Emmy home, and begins to show her the future of her Tina Turner.
Tina Turner ring.
And here's when Yujiro shows up, claps homeboy in front of her.
He just rolls up in the house too.
Then makes love to her with dead husband in the middle of the room, and then he tells her, "You're going to have a child for me, and his name will be Baki Hanma. When he's 13, I'm gonna fuck him up, and if I fuck him up, I'm killing you, bitch." And it's just like
she's like, "Okay,
sounds like a great deal to me." And I mean, he kept his word, but like,
so she's got 14 years left.
So here's that weird psychology of her. It's okay. She was a good innocent girl, and then got Hanma. She got Hanma, and then the drug was taken away. Then all she was left with was $1 quadrillion and a fucking kid to raise, and had to raise this kid to be the best, strongest, most elite kid ever. So this kid couldn't have friends. He couldn't watch cartoons. He probably didn't get one of them cheap plastic water guns like we all had when we were kids. No super soakers.
Yujiro broke his.
While she had to run a corporation of sorts. And she had to learn business tactics to keep her money flowing and had to become cold, ruthless, and sexy all at the same time. So when you actually get to see Emmy meeting up with Baki for the first time, Baki's talking shit to her as she's getting out of her car, and all she does is she inappropriately kisses her son.
Ugh.
She inappropriately kisses her son and then tells him, "Go be strong, go be better than your father." What I'm getting at here is we call Emmy a crazy bitch, right? But it's not Emmy's crazy ass fault that this crazy ass shit happened to her. It is just not her fault.
It's the Hanma crazy.
She had to do what she had to do, but when she could not disassociate what she had to do as far as business, because the other business partners called her a ridiculous gold digger and talked some shit about her, which they shouldn't have. Anyway, they talked some shit about her, and the gangs in the territory couldn't fucking stand her because of her power control, her control of power in the neighborhood or whatever, the town, the city, the world. I don't fucking know how much shit she owned, but she owned a lot.
She had a lot of money.
She had a lot of money. She's Batman out here.
Without the suit.
without the suit. She had a Baki instead of a bat suit. But like it kind of explains like why she couldn't even react with her son like she should until the moment he was about to die. That was the one time she actually acted like a mother of any sorts.
Like mother's love.
Right. And was like, oh shit. Oh, you about to kill my kid, motherfucker. That dick ain't worth it. And she snaps out of it. And then he snaps her out of reality for the rest of her life.
Oh, there goes gravity.
So
almost so sad to see.
after Baki gets his motherfucking ass beat, what does he do?
So after Yujiro is done burying his son, patting the dirt down, and walking away with his hands in his pockets like he didn't just fucking do that to his own flesh and blood, Baki picks himself up out the grave, picks all his teeth up, puts them back in his mouth, picks his mom up, walks her down the street, buries her somewhere, and then decides he wants revenge on Yujiro. So he travels the world for 3 years to become stronger. He goes from 13 years old to 16 years old. And when we finally meet back up with Baki, he's a little bit bigger. His hair isn't as fucking orange. It looks like his dad's. And he finds himself to be new champion of an underground arena he had found. And this is when everyone wants his crown. He gains some popularity. He starts fighting some people. Baki's first fight as defending champion that we see is against the cord cut karate master, Shinogi. One of the Shinogis.
Yeah, one of the Shinogi brothers.
Two brothers.
There's a lot of two brothers in this fucking show. We're about to wear that the fuck out. I am not a huge fan of that guy.
I don't think you were supposed to.
Like, mind you, no. You can have people that aren't Baki that you can cheer for, right? But he was just like, I'm going to rip out your jugular. And that's it. Like, it wasn't the actual jugular. It was like a fucking, what was it? An optic nerve or whatever.
An optic nerve.
Yeah, he was the Shinogi, the cord cutter.
Yep.
He was known to, like, rip out, like, your nerve endings or, like, your tendons to just stop you from functioning. He had no problem shutting down the robot. I liked Shinogi for a couple reasons. Reason number one is he reminded me of Ray from Fist of the North Star. He had the little claw hands.
Oh my God.
And he didn't mind sticking them fingers inside your motherfucking body and ripping some shit out. Reason number two is the reason why I actually watched Baki the Grappler, the series. I caught the movie a long time ago. The little OVA. The 45-minute OVA. I caught that a long time ago. And it is that fight in this tournament. It is him fighting Suedo and then him going on to fight Shinogi. And because it's like done as like a movie or whatever, it's done more intensely. Like when Baki's starting to get cut and shit and getting his cords and shit ripped out, it's like, oh shit. Oh, I guess you're not the main character anymore. Oh no.
You're not the main character.
And I mean, you have no idea how he's going to win this fucking fight. Like, especially once he has one ocular nerve cut and one of his arms doesn't work. And Shinogi's got another fucking finger on the other eyeball. And it's like, I'm about to ruin your fucking life. And, you know, if Baki knew this technique when he fought his dad a long time ago, he probably would have won.
Nah.
He perfected the DC Mini. He motherfucking took his limp arm, wrapped his leg around it, and wrapped fucking Shinogi inside of it and choked his ass to sleep.
He grappled him.
Because he's Baki the Grappler.
He's the best grappler ever. But I've always kind of liked the Shinogi, especially seeing it in anime. It's a little faster paced, you know, because like by the time you're watching the series, you realize Shinogi's not like the big bad. Because like they in the OVA, they hardly mentioned Yujiro. Like it was like his name was mentioned in the shadows.
Yeah,
he's the boogeyman.
Because he's the boogeyman,
right? And it's like watching the show, watching the OVA without watching the show. It's like, damn, I need more of that. Like, what's all going on here? What's all? And then when you finally get to the show, like Suedo, he was kind of dope in the OVA, but once you get to the show, he's downplayed a lot more, and it's like, oh, he's not as badass as you thought he was. You know, Suedo, the really big one in the Shinshinkai.
The third, the fourth, the seventh.
Zase.
No, like he was like the fourth or the fifth guy that was like,
Yeah.
It was like Dopo, his son,
Kato,
and then it was like after that, it was you could interchange everyone that you wanted.
Suedo and someone else. Suedo had like really good talent. He just overbelieved in himself.
He aimed too high.
He overbelieved.
Fake neck.
He shoot right for the moon, bruh. But and Kato is for me the Yamcha of the series.
I can see why you say that.
He's got a really cool look. He talked that cash shit. He's super confident in himself, but the motherfucker can't win a fight.
Can't win.
Can't win a fucking fight for shit. And then be getting his ass like pulverized. He don't just like lose and be like, damn, next time. Like, no, he makes people fuck him up. He's just like, damn it, Kato.
Would you rather not be fucked up and then come back and then be like, man, you didn't really get beat up. Why are you still here?
I'd rather him just like, fight a good fight. Oh man, you couldn't win. No big deal. There's no need for you to make somebody shove your arms up your asshole. We fucking get it, Kato. We get it.
So MattMatt, what was the next person that Baki fought?
Mount Toba, a professional wrestler.
Was that the guy that's supposed to be like Giant Baba with the red scarf
And the big chop.
and the big chop?
Yeah, the big chop.
Yeah. Because I remember there was another wrestler that came in, and he was supposed to be like a Noki.
That was Igari.
Yeah, Agari.
Antonio Igari.
Yeah, they give their respect to like certain people in Japan.
Mm.
Like you saw Giant Baba, and then you saw a Noki, which was Inari, but he was in a different tournament. But this one was Giant Baba, and yeah, Baki beat him. Was he the one that asked Baki to throw the fight?
That was Igari.
Was that Agari?
Igari, because Igari is kind of a dirtball in Baki. I don't know about anything about Inoki in his background life. I know he was a fantastic wrestler, and that's it. I don't know shit about him behind the scenes. But Igari, behind the scenes, was supposed to be a shitbag.
Okay, because I remember one of the wrestlers asking Baki, he was like, hey, you take the dive for me, son.
He was very Ric Flairish. Woo!
I didn't really like any of the wrestlers in the show. Like, the sumo wrestler was all right, but the actual wrestlers, like, I understand why they were in there. They were supposed to show, like, wrestlers can be strong too, but they're a different kind of strong.
I almost thought it was goofy to put wrestlers in this show.
So you watched Command?
Because when you first met Ando, and Baki told Ando that Yuri Kokoska starched his ass, Ando said, oh, so you got beat up by a regular boxer? Pathetic. And I mean, we know Kokoska was a real one. He starched somebody. You can't starch nobody without some real power. But then what Hanayama did to him, and, we're getting a power scaling situation.
Yeah,
I just think it was very interesting that they did decide to add wrestlers. And then if they were going to add wrestlers, they might as well add Baba and Inoki, the top dog, top tier versions of wrestlers.
Matt, next one. Because Baki wins against one of the Shinogi brothers. Then he fights Toba.
Well, let's not forget that after Baki beats Toba, Yujiro showed up after the fight and knocked Baki out. Like, that was Yujiro going, I'm going to watch the rest of this.
Isn't that when Yujiro put him through the wall?
I think so.
In the locker room?
Dopo challenged Yujiro after this. That sounds about right. I think so.
Why does Yujiro show up?
Because he breaking Baki's toys. That's why.
Just to fucking beat up Baki again.
It's like, oh shit, you got an A+ on your fucking science exam?
You ever seen that show, F is for Family?
No, I've never seen the show.
The dude's always threatening to put his son through a fucking wall. And he told him one day, he goes, motherfucker, I can start building walls right now to the end of time, and I wouldn't have enough fucking walls to put you fucking through it. And I feel like every time Yujiro sees Baki, he's like,
I'll put you through the wall.
You want another wall, boy? You want another wall?
Hey, that's the equivalent of Yujiro pulling out the belt.
Could
you imagine Yujiro pulling out the belt? Like, I feel like he would
It's the sash.
He
it's
would
the sash.
He would hit him with a cloth sash, and it would.
I feel like it would catch on fire and erupt in flames before it hit you. You get hit with ash.
I bet it hurt like a bitch though.
Probably does. Probably does.
Baki does one of those silent screams where he.
So pretty much,
Don't you scream, boy! Don't you fucking scream!
Shut the fuck up!
Be quiet! I hit you again.
So pretty much, this is an exhibition match between Dopo Orochi and Yujiro Hanma. And when I first saw this, I was like, okay, Dopo might have a chance. Nah, man, like fucking Dopo made him like actually somewhat fight. Like,
And now Dopo looks like Sagat.
Hey, like if we're gonna do
don't
this,
disrespect Dopo.
if we're gonna do this like the,
Sagat would beat Dopo
if we're wait,
I wanna see
hold
that
on.
handily.
I want to see that fight.
I think Sagat might take out Yujiro.
Hey, this is how this fight went. Dopo gets some hits in, Yujiro takes him, and then, Yujiro rips out Dopo's eye and then punches him right in the chest. And then Yujiro puts his hands in his butt. That's how you know the fight's done with Yujiro. Because otherwise, Yujiro's just standing there, he does his big fucking, pose, like the big monkey pose looking. You know the fight is over when Yujiro puts his hands in his pockets and starts walking away. And he walks right up to the official and goes, fight's over. What do you mean? Dopo's dead. Dopo is standing. It like everyone who has been starched in the ring has been laid down on the ground after the starching to lay out. Dopo was starched standing.
A couple weeks ago off
He was a
air,
statue.
I told Steve about Stay Flow Starch. There's no secret that I'm a Texan. And for all my brethren out there who know about that Stay Flow, Yujiro Hanma put Dopo Orochi up on a clothesline. Took a bottle of Stay Flow, mixed it up real fucking good. He mixed that bottle up real good. Laid him out in the sun, and then just started spraying that starch all over them pants. And then when it was done, he took the pants off the clothesline and made him stand up with no legs in it.
Like that shit was wild the first time I saw, because like that was the moment I was like, oh shit, we just lost Dopo. Dopo was like a dope ass character.
We only had him for a couple days.
Dopo's in his name. Like that dude's awesome. And then like
New toy.
fucking Yujiro's like, yep, I'm gonna fucking put you through a wall.
But after Dopo heart stopped,
Dopo died. Is
Dopo
what the
died.
fuck happened.
You meet the other Shinogi brother, Kuraha, the doctor,
Shinogi.
Dr. Shinogi. We'll classify him easier.
Dr. Dude.
The cord cutter Shinogi and the Dr. Shinogi. That's the easiest way. Well, Dr. Shinogi straight up put his hand in Dopo's chest. No scalpel, no fucking...
No sterilization, no nothing. Just fucking reached in there.
Just put his hand, and I know people can't see what I'm doing, but I'm putting my hand in Dopo's imaginary chest.
If you've ever seen Temple of Doom, it's like that.
Grabbing his heart and pumping his heart till it started working again. And you know what? Dopo's alive again.
It worked. Dopo's still alive in the series. We're all the way into Netflix territory, and Dopo is still kicking, still chopping tigers' heads off.
But that brings us to the end. Well, not the end of the series, but the last fight of the series or the season, the first season.
It's where we get Baki versus
Dr. Shinogi.
Which is a very interesting fight because I don't like Dr. Shinogi. I feel like Dr. Shinogi is goofy looking.
Yeah.
I don't like his character design. Like, you look like a buff Zarbon.
I'll give you on that. He looked like a fish, like an actual fish on his face.
Right, like his lips are huge and his face is real girly, but then he's got like this big monster Brock Lesnar frame. And it's like, how do you work?
He was pretty much like a bodybuilder fighting, and like didn't have much of a fighting experience either. He used a lot of strength in his moves.
He used a lot of strength, and his technique was nice, but it was not like an official technique.
It wasn't no fighting technique.
You could tell that cord cutter Shinogi practiced their family traits. Really. But Dr. Shinogi was too busy fucking off being a doctor. But for some reason was still always able to get the upper hand on his little brother.
I think it was the strength. Honestly. And
little brother ain't gonna cut his big brother's cords out.
So that is the end of the first season of Baki the Grappler. The second season is my favorite season. I do like the first season. I do like Baki getting starched a couple times, Yajiro killing a family, the Yasha 8.
Mm-hmm.
But
the second season ain't as good without the first season, though. You know?
Well, you need the story to fucking show the
you
fucking...
need all that background to get into it, to get into the meat and potatoes of what this show is really about.
But we get to meet Fang in this season. We get to meet Grandpa, fucking the Ike guy, and Jack Hammer. And fucking...
You mean Slim Shady? That motherfucker popped out looking like Eminem.
Talking about Ivan Drago.
And then
He's Canadian.
You get to meet
blonde hair, blue eye Canadian.
You get to meet Mike Tyson.
Iron Michael was there.
It was really they changed his name. I even looked it up. It's Iron Michael, but it's the Ian McGregor, the world heavyweight champ.
The McGregor dude.
That was actually Iron Michael.
No shit. Really?
He changed his name so he wouldn't be recognized in the underworld.
Oh shit! I didn't know that. I did not know that. That is.
I didn't know that either until I actually read about it. So I was surprised about it too. But you kind of get it. I and M.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
But yeah, so yeah, we even got to see Iron Michael before Iron Michael was Iron Michael.
Or Iron Michael.
Or hey, he was like the fifth strongest in there.
That boy never brushed his teeth again.
All right. Well, let's get to it. This season was pretty much the whole tournament, the maximum tournament. Excuse me. The big kahuna, the real big shit.
This is where they were going to try to crown a new champion.
Yep.
Through a big tournament.
They had people from Brazil, South America, Africa, the USSR, America. They had everyone in the world come to this place to see who is the strongest in the world.
Oh yeah.
Other than Yujiro Hanma.
No, he was there.
No, he was there, but like
wasn't allowed to fight.
He didn't want to fight.
He wasn't allowed to fight.
He wasn't allowed to fight. No, he was.
Come on now, you know what he done. You know what he. All right, let me get all 20 of y'all versus me. Y'all don't want that problem.
So every for the tournament there was A through D block,
mm-hmm.
and every in the first fights there were 4 from each block.
Right.
There was an A block that had Baki was in A block, and Jack was in D block.
I mean, there were a lot of really good fights, but you're right. The notable fights were the ones we came here for. Like I know when I first saw Jack Hammer fight, like the first time I saw him, I was like I saw his name and I was like, Jack Hammer, huh, cute. He about to get his sorry ass whooped. Oh, garbage ass. What kind of name is Jack Hammer? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Oh,
there's a reason why his name is Jack Hammer.
He just made a pinwheel. He
even had to blow on it.
No. He, in the series so far, was the only one ever on screen to make Yujiro go, God damn. Yeah. Whoa, shit.
Like, Jack hit some no-name ass dude. Like
a Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighter.
One uppercut.
Sergio Silva.
Yeah.
They replayed the uppercut 3 times.
No, they didn't. He was just still spinning that long. He was, I mean, bro, that shit looked like motherfuckers riding spinners. Like when you stop and the spinners keep going, that's, oh my God. Like Jack was in the back room taking a piss and dude was still spinning. Like the next fight was going on around the spinning guy. That nigga looked like that dude looked like Tickets Please man on fucking Rick and Morty. Oh man, dude was just
this is how it got to it. The fucking Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighter thought Jack was just a piece of crap. Who's Jack Hammer? This Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighter went for a tackle, a takedown, and pure strength from Jack Hammer with one hand pushed this man away from his body.
Yeah.
Like, when you saw this, like, you could see it, like, he was trying his damnedest to stay in that takedown. And Jack was like, come on, dog.
What are you doing?
Stop playing. Stop playing. And then, with his left hand, Jack hit him with the most disrespectful, most unnecessary, most holy shit. When I saw this, I crapped my fucking pants uppercut. If this happened in real life,
Dead.
This happened in real life.
Dead. All the children he has are dead.
This man
dead.
is never gonna fight again because he's gonna be chewing his tongue for the rest of his life.
He's dead.
Like his brain had to become detached in his head. Like dude is like, oh my goodness.
Like I love the animation on that scene alone when he's like you were saying, pushing his the dude away with one hand, and like you don't even see the uppercut coming. You just see a flash of light just take over the screen, and it's like, oh shit, someone just fucking launched a nuke in the middle of this motherfucker.
Yeah, you ain't never got to hit nobody that damn hard.
And this is where we get to meet one of the characters that stayed in Baki 2, the Netflix version, Retsu.
Oh man.
Mighty Retsu.
Retsu versus some no-name Russian guy.
I wonder who wins the fight.
When Retsu showed up and snapped that man's neck and then left, I was like, oh, this man's a bad guy. This man's a bad guy. He doesn't like people.
Evil.
Hey, whoa.
He did this. He sat. Hold on. This I watched it. He sat on the man's neck, and it was called the Spinning Lotus. This man sat on his man's neck, crisscross applesauce, grabbed his neck, flipped around 360, and then jumped off in the dude's neck.
Like you heard a click every time.
That should sound like the Wheel of Fortune.
Like seriously,
that bitch sound like the big wheel on The Price is Right.
And just
Rest in peace.
So we're saying this. Retsu's not a bad guy. In the words of Zangief, just because you're a bad guy does not mean you're a bad guy.
When you in an underground tournament, no such thing as a bad guy.
There's no bad guy.
No bad guy.
I do gotta say this. I don't know if this is like a typo or something, but in the new show, it's 4,000 years of Chinese martial arts. In this show, it was 3,000 years of Chinese martial arts.
Well, it depends on which technique is being used.
Oh, so it's,
right, because like some techniques were invented 5,000 years ago, and other techniques were invented 3,000. You know how much time 1,000 years is?
I know. But yeah, that's one of the notable ones. Retsu making a man's neck turn into a fucking wheel crank. Jack Hammer making a person be a involuntary windmill.
Well, everyone in the crowd was hot, so he had to fan them off for it.
And then Dopo's ignorant ass fight with Richard Filth. If anybody remembers that fight was
pure ignorance.
Pure
ignorance.
I'm sorry. When Dopo shows up in a suit and the man he fights is a bouncer and he shows up in a suit too, you know somebody gonna get their shoes scuffed. Somebody's gonna get punched in the face. Somebody gonna fucking get their teeth knocked out. Like this shit was a barroom brawl fight, and there was no bar around. But they got Dopo lost his fucking.
Look, bro, when you have a tournament to fight in at 8:00 and you got a date at 8:30, Dopo Orochi.
Hey, Dopo, the man that he fought did not look like he could go on a date at 8:30. Dopo, on the other hand, He just needed a new pair of glasses.
He went on that date, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Damn right.
With one eye. And then the last one. Two brothers. The cord cutter versus Dr. Shinogi. That was another notable fight.
That was an emotional fight.
Yeah, because it's two brothers. You never want to try to like murder or maim your brother, but if you're trying to become the king of the underground, you're gonna do something. And the reason why, this is why I wanted to hold off on it, the big brother could always beat the little brother, was because of his muscles.
Yeah.
It was. Because dude tried to go for his cord, like he tried to do the cord cutting thing, and literally it showed an X-ray. Yeah, you're just like an inch off or something. You can't touch my fucking cords.
Yeah.
Fucking my thick ass neck.
Yeah, big brother Shinogi, Dr. Shinogi, he really sunned his little brother, didn't he?
Yeah. Because he even, like, at the very end, it wasn't even like he just conceded. He literally hugged his brother. He was like, "It's okay, little buddy.
All right, you give me next time."
No, he let his little brother win. He let his little brother go to the next final.
I mean, he quit the match.
So he was like, "I don't want to beat my little brother up."
So he had
That's
to
all
kill
he
his
was.
little brother. Because, like, little Shinogi was in that bitch crying.
There's also something happening in the background because there is a lot of fights in the first block, and most of those fights really weren't that entertaining. So Yujiro brought us in his own world. He was like, "Man, these fucking trash fights are garbage. Well, these garbage fights."
Where's Jack when you need him?
No, he went outside and fought the Muay Thai world champion. With,
oh God, yeah, I forgot
with a flick,
that.
with a flick, not like just flicking his finger. He's like, "Come on, buddy, let's play."
He beat that dude's ass.
With two fingers. If you want to consider that two fingers, he kind of just
Two fingers.
He pretty much used one finger because there were a lot of fights in the first blocks that was like wrestler A fights.
This is also when Yujiro brought in a fighter. The motherfucker that could fly. Levitate.
That was the funniest fucking thing to see. Is like he didn't even look like he jumped. He was literally like levitating. Like he had,
yeah, he act like Chris Angel.
like how the fuck you do that?
What are you doing, pal? Stop it. Like if Hercule was there, you know what he'd say. Parlor tricks. Just all players, smoke and mirrors. Parlor
It's a
tricks. You know him.
I'm the world champion.
I think Hercule would have whooped his ass.
Hercule would have won against Yujiro.
Hercule would have beat Yujiro.
Hercule can beat Yujiro.
I'm not going down on record saying that.
Yeah, let's
I'm going.
let's
down
talk
on
about
record.
let's talk
Hercule.
about
Hercule
Baki the
saved the
Grappler.
universe. Hercule.
So
dodge Kid Buu.
the second round start, and these are a couple of the notable ones. Kasame Orochi versus Hanayama. The Gripper versus the second son, or the first son of the adopted son of
the
Dopo.
Gripper.
The Gripper.
Don't give him that nickname, the Gripper. What's your best move? Indian Burns.
So Hanayama.
What?
So Hanayama and Dopo's adopted son, Kasame.
Make sure you know that he's adopted. That is not Dopo's son.
Honestly, when I rewatched the thing, it looked like his name was Dick Grayson.
Well, might as well have been.
His family died. He was an acrobat for a circus. I was like, this is
Can't you want to
Batman.
fight crime?
This is Batman right here.
He was gangster though, wasn't he?
No, I did not like Kasame.
You didn't like Kasame?
In
No.
In Baki the Grappler, not really.
But
In the newer one,
yeah,
it's all right.
Well, it was that one time he did that real gangster shit with the ball cap on.
Oh, you're awake.
Yeah.
Oh, you're awake.
That moment.
But we ain't talking about that. But yeah. So
I forgot about that shit.
We're pretty much watching a brawler versus a karate practitioner.
It's a street fighter versus a.
And who you think won?
You really wanted that practitioner to win.
So the practitioner won.
It's what you really wanted.
No, I wanted the street fighter. I wanted Hanayama to win.
I didn't want Hanayama to win this one.
Why?
We got him.
Hanayama didn't grow.
He didn't disrespect himself with this loss.
He didn't grow.
Not yet.
Okay.
Like he hadn't grown as a fighter in the last 3 years. He was just now this 18-year-old fucking Hulk man.
In the Yakuza, like in the underworld, I think I wouldn't want to fuck with him.
Oh, in the underworld, I mean, if I'm a regular dude,
Nah, fuck that.
just a regular, got to use a baseball bat to beat people up ass dude, I don't want none of your Hanayama. Hell no. But as a karataka, he didn't grow.
I'll give you that. But he did not, for me, he did not disrespect himself with the loss.
No.
How he lost, he stood there like his family's insignia or tattoo every time they would get a new boss.
So what you're saying is, Hanayama in the middle of the ring, knocked unconscious, standing straight up.
Just like Dobo.
He lost the fight, just like Dobo. So are you telling me Kasami Orochi starched?
He didn't starch him.
He starched him.
I don't think he starched him.
Dude wasn't moving, was he? He was stiff as a pair of pants with stay flow on him. He was so stiff. He starched Hanayama's ass.
This is another notable fight. Ian McGregor. And when people see Ian McGregor, if they watch Baki the Grappler, he looks real familiar. He's the world heavyweight champ of boxing. He's a stout, short, buzz-cut black man.
A little bit of an inboxer.
Looks like he could knock your lights out with one giant punch.
Uses the peekaboo stance.
Yeah.
You couldn't see him coming?
You couldn't see him coming.
I want your heart. I want your children.
Stop.
He fights a biker gang.
Shit. That motherfucker there.
Like, woo, I forgot about it. What's his name?
Chihiro Shiba.
That dude is like Miguel from Tekken.
Why did he have on the Hokage jacket? Why did he look like Kuwabara?
Because he was real.
Why was he the nastiest fighter in the whole damn show?
Because he could take an ass whooping and give it back out.
And then beat you with his broken arm.
Oh my God.
Both of his broken arm.
Oh, God.
Broken teeth. Fucking like, you guys know who
He's
won, right?
the embodiment of "'tis but a flesh wound."
They didn't win. Like, Ian McGregor didn't win because both of them broke Ian McGregor broke both of his hands on the dude's face.
Mm-hmm.
So the boxing dude, the boxing like manager said, "You're out. That's it.
Yeah.
You can't fight." And that's when the Russian guy comes in. But we're gonna talk about this fight. So Shiba, he didn't break any rules, but he added a rule in. He didn't do like a regular fight because he knew he couldn't fight Ian McGregor just straight up like that. He fought him. I can't remember what they called it, but it was they would wrap two like a cloth between each other, and it would be like close combat, which is kind of weird how Ian McGregor didn't beat his ass.
Wasn't his style of fighting.
But after like you got to give his respect that he took like a whole bunch of ass whooping. Shiba did, like broke his arms, fucking all of his teeth was knocked out, and still got up for more. Like didn't stop and say this is too much. He had a whole biker gang behind on him.
Yeah, he did.
He was the leader. Like if you show like what he was doing was if I show weakness, all my men will show weakness.
That's right.
And he pretty much just, I'll fight till I'm dead, and then I'll fight some more. So you can respect him, but he still lost.
Yeah.
Well, Ian McGregor lost, and that's where you meet Alexander Golin.
Uh-huh.
The Russian that fucking fought the snake.
Yep.
And the last notable fight that I think in the second part of the blocks is Dopo Orochi versus the boy that you talk about, Yui Armana.
The flying fellow.
The flying fellow with yellow,
Mr. Levitation.
I hated him. I really did. He had And you know what? I think he was like fucking just there because fucking Yujiro signed off on him and shit like that.
I actually like his existence because it shows you, because Yujiro called him his protege. And it shows you the reason why Yujiro didn't train Baki. Look how garbage that dude came out. Like, besides his levitation ability, because I mean, when he got in his first fight, he just stomped one dude in the face. Cool. But when he got into a real fight, it was like, what the fuck are you doing? Besides getting your ass beat the fuck up.
Really, how the fight ended was he didn't want to beat up Dopo Orochi anymore, and fucking
I don't want to play no more.
And Yujiro was like, "Stop being a pussy," and fucking killed this man.
That's right.
And fucking Yujiro grabbed this man out the air and gave him like the most unnecessary ass chop in the world. Like you could see the indentation on his fucking left shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
Like it looked like a crevice, and not like a crevice where he broke his fucking collarbone. No, a crevice where there was like a fucking hand right there.
He
Like
hit him right in the soft part of the meat.
It looked like Toon Powers. Like that motherfucker had a piece of meat just gone. That was
Yujiro shows up and turns this shit into a cartoon. Remember what he did to Hanayama? Remember how he threw Baki through the wall? He just turns this shit right into fucking Nicktoons.
Now, it's before the semifinals. Now it's the third block, the third part of the fights. Whereas now it's crunch time. Now the real people are around now.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no fucking Joe Schmo fucking around here no more.
That's right.
What I have down is Retsu versus Kisame. You know how fast Retsu slid Kisame?
Yeah, you almost forgot Kasame was an Orochi.
He beat him with a spitball. And then hit him with, I think it was a chop or a fucking like a leg kick or some crazy shit that just dropped Kisame automatically. Like he was done.
Yeah.
Like it was like two fucking shots. And I was surprised that like how he fought. Well, if you think about it, Hanayama never was a real fighter. Him fighting a real fucking master of Kung Fu, Chinese Kung Fu. Yeah, I would understand why Kasame got slipped by that, but damn, that quickly? That,
I mean, that motherfucker was like super Shaolin though.
He fucking turned, like, remember when he fucking, like, he buffed out. Like, he fucking, like, all of his fucking traps and shit fucking came out. And I was like, this motherfucker about to kill somebody. This motherfucker about to kill somebody.
He tried. Boy, he tried. Thankfully, he didn't.
Well, we get into the fight that everyone wanted to see.
What's that?
Jack Hanma versus Alexander Golin, the Russian that everyone was like, oh, because prior to Jack fighting Alexander, he had to fight a warm-up match to feel like he actually fought something. He fought an anaconda or some big-ass fucking snake. And all he did was get wrapped up by the snake and literally punched this snake into the ground and killed it. Like, it just like fucking just kept on mercilessly just beating this fucking snake into the ground.
I mean, I'm gonna be straight with you. I ain't never fought an anaconda, but I've picked up a boa before.
It's pretty damn heavy.
Yep. And that ain't nothing but muscle.
Yeah.
So you get something the size of 8 of me, 10 of me, I'm not beating that ass. At all. At all. But he went out there and fucking pounded that damn thing in the fucking boots.
He was supposed to be the best thing that coming out of Russia. He was like 6,000 wins and no losses.
Yeah. Street fights.
And Jack was like, ha! Ha! Ha!
That's taking 6,000.
That's when he started showing off his pearly whites.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when fucking Jack started like, I think he pulled out he started ripping out his face and his arms and his legs and shit.
Yeah, Jack ain't got
he bit off his he almost bit off his fingers.
Yeah.
And started whipping his ass with his own strength. He was like, man, you ain't strong. This is all you got? Oh, I could whip your fucking ass.
Jack got some powerful teeth. Boy, alligator mouth or something.
Just hey, Kadawfi. Just you wait. Just you wait.
Just you wait.
So Jack wins. Retsu wins in the third fight. From my notables, there's a couple more, but it's Baki fighting the other wrestler that asked him to fucking pull the fight, and I knew Baki was like,
Inagi.
I'm not doing that.
Or Agani or whatever.
Agari.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. You know, you gotta fight me for real.
Mm-hmm.
So the semifinals, Baki Hanma versus Retsu.
That was a fight we waited for.
How the fuck does Baki pull that man's head out of his, out of socket? You saw that. Like, he fucking took his ponytail. Oh, first of all, my bad. Baki weakened himself before he fought Retsu. Mm-hmm. He beat himself up in the middle of the ring before he fought Retsu. And then said, okay, now we can fight. Now we can fight.
Baki ain't had disrespect Retsu. He ain't had to.
He's a Hanma.
That's
the difference, man. That's the difference, man. When a Hanma's fighting you and don't think that you're on his level, he is going to disrespect you.
That's how you... That right there is how you know Baki's still that little bratty ass 13-year-old that threw a temper tantrum at his training dojo.
Threw fucking barbells in the fucking glasses.
He hadn't done it yet.
Hadn't done what? Oh, hadn't got no scoop?
Nope, not yet.
Everything
changed after that.
Take the long strokes. He ain't had that yet.
With his dad watching.
But
no, he tried. His dad was watching.
So Baki fights Retsu and beats Retsu.
Yeah, as he would. It's his show.
And then it's Jack Hammer versus Shibakawa, the man that has an Aiki, the Aiki master that can take your energy and flip it on you,
and does it quite well.
In that fight, the Shibakawa, it felt like a lamb to slaughter. It felt like a lion match versus fucking like a antelope. It didn't feel like it was an actual fight. He tried his best, he really did, but he just didn't have it. He didn't have it that night. He didn't have the strength to fight.
Jack was overpowering.
Yeah, Jack was just too much, especially with him biting his fucking tendons out and shit like that, and fucking.
People in this show have super healing.
No, they don't.
Well,
they have anime healing. How about that? We'll give them that.
Well, yeah, they have anime healing.
But Shibakawa gets slipped by Jack Hammer, and we finally realize. Well, there's an episode. Why Jack Hammer has said to Baki, I have the same right as you to fight Yujiro Hanma. Yujiro Hanma knew, but he didn't want to tell anybody. Jack came up to him after he fought the Russian with 6,000 wins and said what he said, and Yujiro was like, he has absolutely anything. He can always fight me. He has the right. He has the right. We figure out that when Yujiro was younger, he was a soldier. What was he, like 16, 17? Mm-hmm. Fighting and killing people. Mm-hmm. And he met a lady named...
Isn't that when he met Biscuit?
No. That was...
the same time frame.
A little bit later. Mm-hmm. What was her name? Diane?
Dirty
Diana. Blondie. She was a blondie. And she needed help.
No. She did need
Yujiro
help. Said...
She got that help, all right. She got that help in the form of a jackhammer.
She got a non-consent form to sign.
All right, that's perfect to say. She got a non-consent form to sign. She signed
her non-consent form.
And then 9 months later, Jack Hanma came out.
I wonder if she caught the Hanma too.
No, didn't she kill herself right after?
No, she died from being sick or some shit. Yeah.
But yes. Jack Hammer this whole time has been trying to get stronger, and he meets a doctor that met Yujiro Hanma once and was trying to make someone as strong as him.
Yeah, when Yujiro Hanma pulverized the polar bear.
He was trying a super soldier serum of steroids.
With steroids.
He was trying to make Omega Red and wound up with Jack Hammer instead.
Are you mad?
Yes.
A little bit?
We could have had Omega Red.
Okay. But
Omega Red is that dude.
Yes.
But this scientist / doctor gave Jack steroids, pills, just to make him stronger.
Jack was juicing, is what you saying.
Yeah. In a week, he went from he went from like twigs for legs, fucking little branch arms, little skinny chest, no neck, to fucking, I'm about to eat the whole fucking thing.
That was the other thing with Jack Hammer. He wasn't like a pussy beforehand. Like, he may have been skinny like that, but Jack Hammer would go into the gym and train all fucking day. His arms and legs and feet would be bleeding, but he wouldn't stop hitting the bag and training. But like, it was like,
He wouldn't get any bigger.
you don't have any muscle mass. You're a stick man. You're like genetically a fucking reject. So the doctor found us. He was literally Captain America, wasn't he?
I mean, if you
Captain Steroids.
Captain
Are
Steroids.
you telling me Captain America ain't on steroids?
He is.
Y'all ever seen the death of Captain America?
No.
Tell me why he looked like Michael Jackson when he's dead. Thank you. Now, Captain Steroids.
So, Dr. Shinogi knows that Jack Hammer is on some shit.
Juicy.
And he knows that, like, you're on your last legs, dog. If you do any more, your body's going to fucking implode on itself. And no, what you mean?
It tried.
Well,
Jack didn't give a fuck what he said because he's a hammer.
He's a Hanma.
give me no steroid.
He kept on juicing, took all the steroids he could, and went in there and had a very respectable way of saying hi to his brother. Said, man,
Listen, I'm going to kick your ass.
I'm sorry I'm going to kick your ass, but we're brothers. We're cool.
Two brothers.
It's not your fault that our father is an asshole.
But I'm going to take it out on you.
But, like, hey, man, like, I feel like they kind of had that.
Respect.
It was some respect. It was that Andy and Terry trying to learn the new move. You know, who has the right to go fight Krauser?
Absolutely.
Not motherfucking Andy.
So, Baki and Jack go back and forth for a while, and then Jack is starting to get repercussions for all this juicing. And he starts throwing up fucking just green vials of shit. And his body's starting to fucking atrophy and fucking like shrink up. Like he's turning into a different person.
He's reaching his final form is what's going on.
So Baki grabs Jack in the most nastiest guillotine choke I've ever seen in my life. Grabs this man, like Jack is like 7 foot.
At this point, Jack only has one arm available because Baki smashed the other one.
So if
No, it was they had
just-
a hard fight, and then Baki put him in the guillotine and was like in the middle of right before he's about to choke him. It was like, Jack, if you can survive this, you win. This is all I've got. And then immediately just fucking cinched.
It broke Jack's teeth.
He broke everything. And that's before he, the nastiest part about this choke, I hope that we get a picture of the comparison of his feet on the floor, and then when Baki gets the demon back and then picks his ass up off the ground. He was mid DDT, but he stalled in the middle of it.
Well, MattMatt, what is the demon back? Because we actually never explained it.
The demon back is something that only occurs every so often. The demon back is what Yujiro has. He has the face of his muscular, structure is in the form of a face on his back. He's got the eyes, he's got the teeth, and when Yujiro flexes, it looks like a demon's on his back. And Baki finally unlocks it at the end of, he trains enough that he finally is able to achieve it against Jack. And boy, does he fucking do it to him.
And that's when Kozue gets that Hanma crazy.
Yup.
She gets
I
that
want
sweat.
some of that.
She gets that sweat in the mouth. Kadawfi?
I think you two kind of covered the Hanma fights. The
two brothers.
Two brothers.
Two
I think y'all
brothers.
covered that pretty well.
Two
brothers.
hammers.
Two brothers talking about two brothers. So there is actually one more episode, and it's showing Yujiro meeting, or let's back up one more second before we get to that episode. Jack still wants to fight Yujiro. He knows what he did to his mama, and he knows that she signed that non-consent clause, and he wanted his payback. So Yujiro said, "Get out of here, boy, before you get fucking killed, because I will fucking wreck you. You're not you legit Hanma. You're nothing to me."
Damn, it's like that, motherfucker.
And fucking Jack with his broken teeth and busted ass body still goes after Yujiro, and it looks like he puts the dog down, but Jack's still alive. But he says, "Enough. That's it. You're not getting no more."
Didn't he put him through a fucking wall?
No,
I'm sure what I did to Baki 3 years ago.
So what you're saying, Kadawfi, is every time Yujiro shows up, he pulls a fucking wall out of his pocket?
Look here, man. That is where that is how he shows his boys that he does love them. He puts them through a fucking wall.
No, it was like a blood splatter. That was it.
Like it's like Heihachi throwing Kazuya off the mountain. If Kazuya wasn't a pussy, he'd have understood that was Heihachi's loving him.
If you survive, I love you.
Right. Same with Baki and Yujiro. You know, I put you through
gotta
a fucking
get that
wall.
right. If he climbs back up, he's worth it.
It's love, tough love.
So the last episode, it goes back in time to Yujiro meeting another reoccurring character in Baki, Biscuit Oliva,
Super McMuscle Man.
Unchained. This is pretty much where
this episode is kind of a recap of Yujiro's early life. And not like the whole thing, but like a small portion, when he made the U.S. military get the fuck out of Dodge. When he created Jack Hanma, when he met Biscuit Oliva, and that was a really cool scene. Like that hyped me up like a motherfucker for the next season. Finally, Biscuit Oliva.
it felt like they were touching gloves.
They almost touched gloves, but Biscuit told Yujiro when Yujiro was 16, "You ain't worth it, little boy. You ain't ready, bitch."
I like when he stabbed when random fucking soldier 30
Number 5
fucking stabs Biscuit Oliva and was like, and he pulls the knife out and says, "That didn't even pierce my fucking muscles.
Yeah.
Get that shit out of here."
Get on out of here.
So they pretty much touch gloves. That's about the end of the Baki the Grappler season before it gets to the Netflix version.
That was a really kick-ass series, Baki the Grappler. For anybody, I've actually met a lot of people who were introduced to Baki via Netflix. And I recommend to anyone
To watch the first.
Yeah, watch Baki the Grappler. Find that it's easy to find on YouTube. It's Baki the Grappler. They have the entire series plus the OVA on there, so you can actually get really good and caught up on Baki the Grappler. I think it's the superior series for the most part, but the newer series does have its merits. You got Shek, you got
the six
you got Kandi. You got that going on.
New shit that just came out.
You got all kinds of cool stuff happening. You guys, in all honesty, if you enjoyed listening to us talk some shit about Baki, motherfucking get ready, because you have to actually put your eyes on this shit. Baki the Grappler is amazing. Please enjoy it.
Well, I'm going to bury this podcast like Yujiro buries families. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We are the Fighting Couch Potatoes.
Don't forget to check us out on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok. Just motherfucking check out the Fighting Couch Potatoes or the FCPS on TikTok. And thanks for stopping by. And you stay classy.
Was that bad?